Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about tomorrow isn't promised. So imagine this, right? What if God told you to reach out to somebody, right? You know, somebody who was living a lifestyle that was against God. Somebody who was basically still worldly, still living a worldly lifestyle. Basically somebody who was lost, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you're scared to reach out to that person. You don't want to reach out to that person. You're scared to reach out to that person. And then not long after that, what if that person was to die? You know, because of the lifestyle that they are living. You know, you were supposed to tell them the truth, and you were supposed to reach out to them, and you were supposed to tell them the gospel, and that gospel would have changed their direction in life. It would have changed their decisions in life, to whereas they would have left that lifestyle alone that was gonna lead to them dying early. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important, like when God tells us to do something, that we do it, because you never know, bruh. Tomorrow isn't promised. That person who God told you to reach out to, their tomorrow is not promised. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised, bro. So it's like, that person God told you to reach out to, bro, man, before you know it, that person gone, bro. That person standing in front of God, and they didn't get saved. They died in their sins. You know what I'm saying? Because you were scared to tell them the truth. Because you were scared to do what God told you to do and tell that person the truth. Now, that person died, and because they kept living that same lifestyle that you were supposed to help them get saved from. If you had told them the truth on time, it could have changed their entire, basically their decisions. They wouldn't have made the same decisions that ended their life. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important to take it serious, man, because tomorrow is not promised for any of us, bro. And I'm gonna give y'all another example. I'm gonna use an atheist as an example. Let's say you have this atheist right here. They don't believe in God, right? And like, tomorrow is not promised. So next thing you know, if the atheist was to die, next thing you know, they're standing in front of God. And if they die in their sins, you know what I'm saying? If they don't repent and stop being an atheist and start believing and this and that, bro, if they don't change their life around, and they die in their sins, bro, now they standing in front of God with all their sins still on them. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is not promised, bro. It's like people be living as though people gonna live for eternity, bro. Tomorrow is not promised. You know, another example, let's say a person was rejecting God's calling over their life. They was rejecting God's plan for their life. God told them the truth, but they rejecting God's plan for their life. They procrastinate in the calling of God. Look, bruh, you know there's so many people out there who be doing that. They be procrastinating the call of God on their life. This is worse than procrastinating, like, for an assignment for school. This is worse than procrastinating your homework. This is worse than procrastinating a project that you're working on in school. This is more scary than that. This is worse. You are procrastinating the calling of God on your life. This is the worst type of procrastination. God is calling you to step into his plan and his purpose for your life, and you out here procrastinating God's calling over your life. Don't you know that people be doing this? People be procrastinating God's calling over their life. They be procrastinating it. This is the worst type of procrastination. This is worse than procrastinating for some for some math test in school. This is worse than procrastinating any of that stuff, because you are procrastinating God's plan for your life. You are procrastinating God's calling and purpose for your life. That's more scary, bro. That's more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And then look, here you are procrastinating God's calling for your life, and then before you know it, let's say you died. Now, because tomorrow is not promised. Let's say you died procrastinating God's calling for your life. Now you're standing in front of God, bro. That is not going to be a good judgment day for you because you was procrastinating God's calling for your life. And this is how people end up in hell, bro, is because they think like they're going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? You want to know something that motivates me and encourages me is when I see, it's as though like I be seeing like so many people like they need the truth, bro. That's motivation right there. Because I know tomorrow is not promised, bro. So I'm like, bro, people need the truth. People need the gospel. You know what I'm saying? Because you procrastinate, bro. If God is telling you to reach out to somebody and you start procrastinating the gospel, and then that's another thing right there. You got those who procrastinate their calling, and then you got those who procrastinate the gospel. God is telling you to tell that person the gospel, but you procrastinate in telling them. That's another form of procrastination. You procrastinate in telling this person the gospel, and look what happened though. You know what I'm saying? If that person was to die, bro, you was the one supposed to tell them the truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's so many people dying, bro. So many people losing their life. And these people don't even know about heaven and hell. They don't even know about the spiritual things of God. They don't even know about Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? That motivates, bro. If you really have a heart for God, bro, that's going to motivate you to really go hard, bro, in trying to save these souls, bro, because you never know, bro. Tomorrow is not promised for any of us, bro. Tomorrow is not promised. So it's like, bro, that gonna motivate you, bro. You seeing people dying, bro, you're like, yo, they really about to stand in front of God for real. They gone. They about to stand in front of God. These people wasn't living for God, bro. Look at people's social media, bro. That's all you need to know. If they really committed to God, that's all you really need to know. Look at their social media page, right? If you look at some of these people's social media page, bro, these people don't have the fruits of, bro, look at the fruits these people produce, right? The Bible talks about the fruits people produce. The fruits these people produce on their social media pages, all they doing is really entertaining the world, entertaining family. These people are not committed to God for real. These people is not cutting off anybody so they could lock in and focus on God. These people are just your typical worldly people. These people don't know nothing about God. These people still care about the opinions of the world, opinions of family. These people was not set free. These people is not locked in with God, bro. Bro, nine times out of 10, these people is not ready to meet God, bro. They not ready to be standing in front of God. That's why we need to really be serious about just putting out the gospel, bro. You know, even these messages that I do, bro, I'm trying to tell you, these messages that I do, I know it's reaching somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know it's reaching somebody, bro. Because you got to speak up, bro. You can't just be quiet, bro. Before you know it, bro, people done died, bro. And people standing in front of God. And they just going to end up in hell, burning forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this stuff is serious, bro. But, hey, you know what I'm saying? Some people going to take it serious, some people not. And that's just how it go. But tomorrow isn't promised, bro. Like, we got to be on top of our game, bro. Like, we got to really, like, we got to be on it for God, bro. We got to be on fire for Jesus, bro. We got to really just lock in, bro. Lock in, bro. These people is standing in front of God Clueless, bro. I'm going to repeat that one more time. These people is dying and standing in front of God clueless. They have no idea about anything. They have no idea how to fast. They have no idea what is God's will for their life. They have no idea what was God's purpose for their life. They have no idea about who Jesus truly was. They still think Jesus is white. They have no idea about how God is against Christianity and religion. They still caught up in all these so many lies, bro. Like, people is not ready, not even close, not even remotely ready to be standing in front of God, bro. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. These people is not even close to being ready to be standing in front of God. These people is going to be clueless on judgment day. They have no idea what's going on. So that's why it's important to put out the truth and let these people know what's going on. Because there's so many things these people have no idea about. But that's just basically all I wanted to say, bruh. Peace.